I don't talk about it much on this channel since we're focused mostly on comic books and Western pop culture, but I'm actually a really big fan of anime, and one of my favorite anime series of all time is Cowboy Bebop. Now, there's a lot of controversy surrounding Cowboy Bebop that sprouted up over the weekend, so before we get too far into that, which we are going to talk about, my comic book, Malevolent Rising, is still funding at Indiegogo. Link will be in the description. Now, on with the video. So, Cowboy Bebop is a series about a group of bounty hunters traveling through space. There's a lot more to the story than that. It's a very, very complicated story filled with some pretty well-developed and fleshed-out characters, and it's one of my favorite bits of storytelling that's come out of the anime scene in my lifetime, in my opinion. It's one of my top three. But I heard that Netflix was doing an adaptation, and there was a lot of fan excitement over that, but when I heard that we were doing a live action adaptation of Cowboy Bebop, I really wasn't that excited. I was cautiously optimistic at best. I mean, did you see Death Note? Or Ghost in the Shell? Or Dragon Ball, the movie? So, over the weekend, or last week rather, Netflix gave us our first look at the Cowboy Bebop live action cast, full in costume, in character, in some pretty well shot still shots that captured the look and feel of the anime about as best you could in live action. And so I looked at it, and just like the rest of you did, and I saw it right off the bat. It cannot be ignored. Spike's hair was way too small. That, and both the male characters look pretty spot on to their animated counterparts, but the female character, Faye Valentine, has been radically changed. So her costume has become more utilitarian. Gone are the short shorts and the crop top, replaced by basic jean shorts, a gun belt, a Indiana Jones jacket, a little hint of a yellow shirt kind of popping out, no headband, not really the thigh highs. Basically, they just went ahead and gave us a pretty generic video game character look for Faye Valentine. So this didn't surprise me at all, because Faye Valentine in the anime and in the manga is a very centrally dressed character. She wears a skimpy outfit, short shorts, crop top, with kind of a tied jacket around that with some suspenders, thigh-high leggings and boots, and she's got this yellow headband. Yellow is the theme of this character's outfit, and it's almost completely absent in the costume that they have the actress in. And while this look kind of just caught a few people by surprise, like I said, it didn't shock me at all, because here in the West, our cultural overlords have been telling us that we need to appreciate this alternate style of beauty for the last several years now. So I didn't think Faye Valentine would be any different. Now, we're going to ignore the fact that Faye Valentine is a very, very fleshed out, very complicated character who is independent, who is strong, very capable, and yeah, she dresses the way she does, and she tends to bat her eyes and the seers from time to time, but that's because she is a bounty hunter, and she tends to use her looks to either gain access to things or to put her marks kind of off balance. It's part of her character. She kind of comes across as a cowgirl / femme fatale type. So where she is a little, physically not as well a good a fighter as Spike, the main character, or as strong as Jet, she can infiltrate, she can talk, she's the charm, she's the face of the group. And all those qualities seem to go out the window when it comes to she dresses too sexy, so we need to do something about that. So, understandably, there was a lot of fan backlash about this. A lot of people saw it. They were hoping for a faithful adaptation of their anime that they enjoyed. They got something different, and they went out and spoke their mind. They gave their opinion on the footage that was released on social media, which is fair. I mean, I imagine you put your product out there that's to be consumed, it's going to be judged by the public. That's just kind of how it goes. And you would think when you've deviated so far off of the original source material to put a character into a show, there's going to be a section of fans at least that are going to be unhappy about it. Well, enter Danielle Pineda, the actress who's portraying Faye Valentine in the live action Cowboy Bebop series. She decided to take to social media and give those toxic man babies a piece of her mind. And in a rather long video that I'm not going to play here, she basically condescendingly explains why Faye Valentine's costume is impractical, cannot be replicated in real life, even though Faye Valentine is one of the most cosplayed characters on the planet. And went on to talk about how if she were to try to do stunts in the costume, the thing would basically just evaporate into her body. So, whatever to that. I mean, the first thing that came into my mind as I saw that video wasn't so much her opinions on the character or the costume. It was more, didn't we just have this whole conversation with Kevin Smith over Masters of the Universe where if fans don't like your idea, the best idea is not to take to social media and then verbally abuse them in a video? So it made me sit back, scratch my head, and start to think, wonder how many times are we going to have this exact scenario before somebody in Hollywood learns? The last thing you want to do is insult the fans of whom you're trying to get to buy, consume, watch, share your product. It doesn't work out well. It's never worked out well. And every single time that I can think of in recent memory that ahead of the release of a movie, ahead of the release of a show, whatever it is, a comic book, when the creators go out and they start talking down to their fans and telling them why their opinions are toxic, why their opinions don't matter, why they're going to go ahead and do what they're going to do with the source material, your opinions be damned. At this point, who are you making this product for? If you don't care what the people you want to watch your show think, then why make it at all? They're not going to enjoy it if you're going to deviate from their source material that they like so much. Now, I'm not a fan of frame for frame remakes like the remakes of the Disney animated into live action movies. I think they're boring. I think they're creatively bankrupt. I like getting surprises in my adaptations. When I see a Marvel movie or a DC adaptation of a comic book, I like when they give me little twists and turns, but those twists and turns and changes need to make sense in the context of the source material you're pulling from. If you're just going to go ahead and take a character that's supposed to look one way, make that character look a completely different way, not give a great explanation for it, and just decide I'm going to go ahead and put this westernized version of a manga character into a series, then just don't bother making the series. If you think Faye Valentine's look is that toxic and wrong, then just leave it alone and move on and do something else. Now, anime fans are many things. They are passionate about their anime. They are fanatical, and they can be loyal if you win them over. But one thing they do not like is being disrespected, and that's pretty much true for any pop culture fan or any fan of anything, really. And once you do that, they're hard to win back. So you've cheesed off quite a few of them, and I'm seeing a lot of the reaction on social media. You've lost some of your potential audience, and that potential audience is not likely to come clamoring back. So there's an old saying, which is living well is the best revenge. And what that means is when it comes to your haters, when it comes to your critics, when it comes to your enemies, the best way to get payback is just to live your best life and them knowing there's nothing they can do about it. So the way I relate this to this situation, or any situation that's like this, is if you're going to be in this situation, if you're an actress taking on a role and you're going to be changing that, you're going to be putting your mark on that role to make it different and make it your own, and the fans come out and they attack you for it, they troll you, let you know their opinion, however you want to say it. I would think that, and I've dealt with haters myself since I've started putting out comic books in this YouTube channel. I did not understand the concept of how some people will go. I've had people watch every one of my videos, read my comics, and they tell me in great detail how they hate everything about me. But the one thing that I've learned, the one thing that I would tell someone like Danielle Pineda, is the way to deal with them isn't to respond. It's not to argue. It's not to punch down. That's their opinion, and chances are you're not going to do a lot to change it. The one thing that can change it is if you just nail it. Go out there, play Faye Valentine the best you can, and give them a character that they're going to love. Show them they're wrong without having to rub their faces in it. That way, their opinion still stays their opinion and their original outburst stays justified because they had their reasons to think that way. But then you won them over because they were wrong about how well you could do. We just kind of saw that with the Ben Affleck Batman. Everybody on Earth was up in arms about Ben Affleck being cast as Batman, with few exceptions, myself included. I thought it was a terrible idea. But then we saw the Superman versus Batman movie. While the movie itself, was what it was, most of the people who saw it admitted, whether they thought so or not, Ben Affleck did a very good job, and it was a good casting. He didn't go out and lambaste his fans for hating the fact that he was cast as Batman. A few occasions he had a little bit of fun with it, but he certainly never went out and called the fan base of the character just a bunch of toxic fans and trolls, and then expect them to come and shell money over into the box office for his movie. He took the criticism, he let his performance speak for itself, and it did. And it won most of the people over. The same thing could be true here. I really don't understand how many times something needs to come out and fail because somebody involved in the creative process is going to kneecap it out of the gate by coming out and insulting and disrespecting the fan base like this. So that's my opinion on this. I want to know your opinion. Are you excited for Cowboy Bebop? Were you excited, and did this whole debacle turn you off to it? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, please hit like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. The channel, as I said before, has grown a lot over the last month or so, and I appreciate all of you guys so very, very much for hanging in on these videos, especially on ones like this that get a little bit longer, where I have a little bit more to say and kind of get a little rambly from time to time. But this is an interesting topic. Creators abusing fans is something that always strikes a chord in me, because I think this is something that really hurts whether it's comic books, whether it's TV shows, whether it's movies. It just really hurts the medium, and it really hurts the end product, and it's so avoidable. Just have composure, have tact. If people have negative criticism, you're going to have negative criticism. Just let it be. And the living well is the best reward. Do the best job you can. Make your show, movie, comic book a success, and then move forward and prove those critics wrong. Anyway, that's all I have to say on the matter. Again, like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.